All right. Can I go ahead and have you state your first and last name?
Jake Gomez.
All right. And what school do you currently attend?
I go to New Mexico State University.
What's your major?
Bachelor's in criminal justice.
Why did you choose that as your bachelor?
I chose criminal justice because I like the law. I like Border Patrol, Customs, ATF, FBI, DEA, stuff like that, courts, proceedings, different stuff like that.
So just anything really related to criminal justice. So you would say that you have a passion for that kind of thing?
Of course.
Awesome. Where do you think that stems from?
None of my family really has a criminal justice background, but it pays really good, and it's good to know the law.
Right.
So I think that's where I got it from.
So you'd say a split between decent pay, job security, and then just the knowledge that you can get from it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Would you say that hobbies are important?
Of course, hobbies are always important.
Why exactly is that?
You need to keep your free time. You need to keep busy. Don't be lazy. Don't sit around and do stuff that's not going to benefit you in the future.
Right. So you'd say that being productive in your free time, finding something to really stimulate your brain it kind of presents a benefit as opposed to just kind of using your free time to just relax and lay around.
Yeah, so if you find something that you like to do, you're going to do it for a lifetime.
Right.
Or a trade. Say you find something like trading or welding or something like that, doing something that could benefit you later on.
So then you're not only just doing something that you enjoy, but you're making money from it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. What are your particular hobbies since you have such a passion?
I play golf, I lift weights, I work on my car. I think that's pretty much it right now.
Okay. Why exactly did you choose golf over any other sport?
Golf's a strategy game. It's really technical. There's a lot of numbers involved. There's a lot of thinking that goes into every shot. There's a lot of technique. You have to swing different for every club. The lengths are all different. There's different stances, different shots you could hit. It's really technical.
So you'd say that over other sports, something like football or rugby, you really like that kind of technical aspect where you really have to think about what you're doing before you do it?
Well, there's thinking in like every sport, obviously,
right.
But I think golf, it's more like you really need to think of all the factors that could influence your shot.
It's more of a primary focus compared to other sports?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you mentioned that you enjoy working out, you enjoy lifting weights. Why exactly is that? Is it to compensate for a lack of physicality in golf, or is it just something that you enjoy doing?
No, golf, there's a lot of like cardiovascular exercise because you're walking constantly and you're in the sun and all that other stuff. But golf, it's like more technical compared to like football. You're going up and down the field on plays.
Right.
With golf, it's similar because you're going off the tee box to the hole, but you don't know where the ball's going to end up. If you hit it bad, you're in a rough spot. You got to think about it. You got to hit it different from different areas: the sand, the rough, the grass, the fairway. Different shots.
Okay. What kind of exercise do you? You mentioned that you lift weights, but a lot of people say that and they just really mean that they go to the gym. Mm-hmm. What exactly is it that you do?
So I do like sort of like a powerlifting. So it's the compound movement. So it's bench, squat, deadlift, but I incorporate hypertrophy, I incorporate cardio, I incorporate drop sets, supersets, double drops, stuff like that.
So you try to not only build strength, but you actually want to see some amount of mass building as well?
Of course, yeah.
So it's a combination of powerlifting and bodybuilding?
Yep.
Alrighty. Would you say that with a training regimen like that, you really do have to kind of have a diet on par, or would you say that you can out-train a bad diet?
Well, you can't out-train a bad diet. So, with that being said, you have to... See, you could grind in the gym. You could go as hard as possible, until failure every set.
Right.
And you can go home and eat whatever you want, like McDonald's, pizza, whatever. You're not going to out-train a bad diet. The gains you're going to make start in the kitchen.
Right.
Start in the kitchen. So to get the most results, you need to have a decent diet, at least a decent diet, or a great diet to achieve like the optimal results.
So would you say that for somebody who's just starting in the gym, would you recommend that they start working on a diet prior to working out?
Well, it depends. It depends what kind of body you have. So there's ectomorph, endomorph, and mesomorph. Those are the three body types.
Okay.
It's all genetic, but if you're an ectomorph, you're gonna make decent gains, but you're also going to need to have the diet. See, if you're a mesomorph, if you're a hard gainer, you're going to need to just eat whatever you want as much as possible because you're going to put on mass quick. If you're a endomorph, then you're not going to have like the genetic like opportunity, the genetic potential. So you need to.
You would say that you kind of need to figure out how exactly your body would react to a training regimen.
Yeah, everybody's different. You can't go off like you can go off specific plans, but you need to tailor them to yourself.
Right.
Because they're not made specifically for one person. They're made for like a mass, but you need to tailor it to what works for you.
Right. So you'd say that you definitely need to experiment a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Perfect formula.
Yep.
That's awesome. What kind of diet do you follow in that case?
I run right now. I'm in my off season, so I run like a caloric surplus. So I go. My maintenance calories are probably around like 2,700. I eat probably like 3,400 calories a day to put on size.
What primary foods do you focus on?
Chicken, turkey, lean ground beef, pasta, vegetables, fruit, rice. Different, just like the normal like carbs, protein, fats.
All right.
But I keep it specific to me, so I have a goal of carbs, I have a goal of protein, and I have a goal of fats per day.
And would you say that actually tracking those macronutrients would be more important than just quote unquote eating healthy?
Well, you can eat healthy, you can eat intuitively and see results, but to get like the best results possible, you need to track like how many grams of protein you're eating, how many grams of carbs, how many grams of fats.
Right.
Specific to you.
Okay. Well, moving away from that to something a little bit less serious, would you say that you're a moviegoer or you're somebody that enjoys watching movies?
I like watching movies, but I don't really like going to the theater.
Okay. Why exactly is that?
It's expensive, one, and the movies now, they're not like as good of quality. Well, they're up there in quality, but like
as far as like production is concerned.
Yeah, storyline and like film quality's kind of gone down a little bit, I'd say.
Would you say that now they're not really focused on it as a passion project, but more so just a way to get money?
Yeah, and a good example is like the Marvel movies. Okay. So the Avengers was like the best-selling like movie franchise ever.
Right.
Which is great because the movies are all good, but they went off and made like Ant-Man and Captain Marvel and Doctor Strange. They're going off on all and making like all these TV shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff. I think it's just a money grab.
You don't think that there's any real kind of creative vision behind it?
No.
Just a way for them to make more money?
Yeah, same thing with the Star Wars movies. Like the originals were good, and a couple of the new ones were good, but the last one I feel like they rushed it and they just wanted to make as much money possible.
Right. So you would say that for yourself, the movies that were good would be kind of your older classics between the 70s, 80s, and 90s, just those older filmic kind of films?
Yeah.
Why exactly do you like those more?
Storylines, they're like more like concrete, they're more solid. There's more like time and thought gone into like the process of like, oh, we need to shoot here, we need to film here, we need to like make the storyline here, we need to find great actors, we need to find like the best possible storyline. Rather than now, they're just going with like all the big names and then they're just like rushing everything.
And then would you say that they end up with a lot of plot holes these days as opposed to older films?
Yeah, they kind of go off from like Star Wars, they went off the line like crazy, but with a couple of the newer movies, they're all right, but they're their own movie. There's not like a prequel to them.
So you'd say that like the reboots and stuff.
Yeah, the reboots are just not for me. I'm not a big fan of any of the reboots.
Most definitely. With that being said, what would you say your favorite movie is?
Pulp Fiction.
Why exactly is that?
Because the end is the beginning and the beginning is the end. There's a lot of thought and time gone into like how they should plan this movie, what's going to make sense in the end. And you need to watch it a couple of times to like really get it, what's going on.
For sure. With you saying that Pulp Fiction is your favorite movie and the director of that movie being Quentin Tarantino, would you say that he's your favorite or at least up there?
He's up there with Martin Scorsese and a couple others, but I think he's probably number 2.
Probably number 2.
Yeah, probably number 2, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you letting me ask you some of these questions today. Hopefully we can talk again soon. I appreciate your time.
Appreciate you.